It's new from Aiwa. It's multi-standard, and it's multi-standard any way you want it. It's a super slim Aiwa VHS. Looking forward to this one. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another Mr. Betabyte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at the Aiwa MG330. It's a multi-standard machine, but it's a little bit different insofar as it uses digital processing to actually make the conversion, and it'll actually do the conversion on the fly as well, so you can input a signal and output it as different formats. So really quite an amazing piece of kit. Now the last multi-standard video recorder that I featured, VHS, which was the Akai, generated quite a lot of comments and emails and all the rest of it about just the variation of machines that are out there. And I have to say, one particular machine I'm really sort of keen to look at is the Panasonic multi-standard machine. Can't remember the model number, but it's K series deck, I believe, and it really is a world standard machine. It even has a map of the world showing all the different formats. So this machine came from Steve. Thank you very much, Steve. And this actually went up in smoke, so I'll be sort of quite interested to see what's actually wrong with this. Get it going, and then we'll do some tests and checks. I mean, it would be quite fun to sort of see what it's like if we can get it going. So I do have the remotes. It does have batteries in there which have not leaked, which is great. And yeah, other than that, I know nothing about these machines, so yeah, let's crack on. So I've taken the top off, just 4 screws to each side, and something really starts to like sort of ring alarm bells. Maybe not in a bad way, but this is looking suspiciously like the same deck that Amstrad used. Funai deck, I think it is. So that might be good. Funai decks are generally okay, but I mean, it's basic. It's a basic deck, and it almost feels like the electronics is sort of taking over from the deck. The deck is almost like an afterthought in the design process, but it's a video recorder, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't have a manual. So I'm just doing this all off the cuff. I expect lots of comments on this because I'm just sort of making this up as I go along. Got a buzzer, some interesting surface mount electronics going on here, which I'm guessing is something to do with digital processing, maybe for the signal, the different formats, but we'll see. We'll learn as we go along. We've got a power supply unit there, which I can see has something nasty going on. And yeah, it's quite an interesting machine. Definitely built to a budget, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's crack on and get that power supply out, I think. Okay, so I've removed the board. I was sort of a bit questioning how this would lift off, whether this does actually need to come off. This must be the digital board. Yeah. So digital processing is all on this double-sided board, which must be an absolute nightmare to work on, and has lots of surface mount capacitors, which they could be fun, because they are of the era where they do tend to just leak for the sake of leaking, just with age. So yeah, I need to get this power supply out. It looks like that's on a socket. Gosh, what's gone on there? It's actually rust, I think. So these will be just bare end ribbons. Yeah, definitely an Amstrad style deck. So yeah, the cut corners there. And there we go, it's out. And then we've got connectors there, go to there. These all, they seem to be hardwired both ends, which is a bit odd. That one isn't. That one appears to be. Let's get the power supply out. I know I'm being rough. Yeah, I just have a feeling this machine might be too far gone to save, maybe. But I just don't want to say that, because it will be fun. It'll be fun to see just what this is like. Steve told me that it was really a very disappointing machine. So as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, I've got to try that. Oh, there's a screw on the back. So screw, oh, there's actually two. Why do I think maybe there's a screw underneath? Maybe not. Yes, there is. So unceremoniously pulling up the whole machine with the top board just floating about crazily. Power supply is out. There we go. So yeah, let's have a look. So the power supply's out from the machine. I just wasn't, well, I couldn't really see, to be honest. But both these are connectors, so that's great. I've checked the mains fuse. It's 1.6 low blow, and it is open circuit. So yeah, we obviously have some fairly major power supply issues going on here. We've also got rust, which may not have helped the whole situation. So what we're going to have to do is actually get this out, get the whole board out, and just try and get it going, I suppose. On the surface it looks like it's fairly easy to get out, but it is soldered as well. It's of the era of power supplies being a little bit difficult to work on. They just make it just that bit tougher to get the boards out and check. So yeah, I will what I'll do is I'll do that off camera, get this power supply PCB out, and we'll do some tests and checks. And just examining this closer, I think I can see what we're probably going to be up against. You can see the amount of rot that's come out the bottom of that cap. This is going to be quite a roller coaster of a repair. It's, yeah, I mean, these brown sleeved caps, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like irrespective of manufacturer, they're just terrible, just awful. I suspect pretty much all of these are bad. But the primary side obviously has gone bad as well because the fuse is blown. But why do I think this is not going to be worth doing? Which would be a shame. Oh, it's worth doing, isn't it? We've got to get this going. Let's see how far we get. This may end up being a two-parter because I'm going to have to buy parts for this, and they're probably going to take forever to arrive. But yeah, let's see how far we can get. So I think I might have come to a temporary full stop with this. The board itself is not that great. You can see there's some rot going on here. Now all this rot is actually from those capacitors. And what's even worse is you can actually see fluid from capacitors sort of on the board, and it's just rotting it all away. The culprit seems to be, or it is, like we noticed in the last segment, that this capacitor here was pretty rotten. But all of these are bad. I can actually see, well, you can make out, but you can actually see where it's all the innards have just leached out, gone everywhere. Mains fuse is well and truly blown. From what I can see, all of these blue, I think they're Elna caps are good. Can't see them. Yeah, Elna. So they're Elna caps. So in this age, they're not too bad. Yeah, because they're starting to be quite troublesome in the Sonys, but of course they're like 40 years old. But yeah, it's. I mean, this transistor's bound to have been atomized as a result. Let's just put a meter across there. I still have not found a circuit diagram, and if you have an electronic copy of an Aiwa MG330 service manual, that would be absolutely fantastic. It would help me no end, because I'm going to have to really go through this power supply and rebuild it. And yeah, okay, I can change all the caps and all the rest of it, but I would quite like to sort of have the manual. I can get by, but yeah, and I think, you know, the rest of the machine as well. It'd be useful to have a manual. So if you do have one, please do let me know in the comments. So let's see if we can get you in the shot. It's not dead short. That suggests it might be. Don't know. It really depends what the rest of the circuit. This is why I could do with a circuit diagram or service manual. But yeah, this is not panning out to be terribly wonderful. The fuse is well and truly atomized and going straight across the line on the DC side of the rectifier. So you've got the bridge rectifier here. That is low. So let's go across this diode, which is fine, unsurprisingly. But there's a standoff board here, which no doubt is providing some sort of switching electronics, maybe. It's a very tiny board. Oh, you can see it. It's down to the right of the transformer there. You can just see it standing up. Yeah, it's just atomize the fuse. Let's get the fuse out. Let's have actually a good look at what that fuse is like. I love the way I use a probe to do that. Yes, so you probably see that's really very black. That's gone bang. So yeah, and again, it almost feels like it's covered in something. It's like whatever's gone pop is sort of vaporized, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. So I'm going to leave this one here. Oh, there's a resistor there. Let's see what that resistor's like. It's probably going to be low ohms. Yeah, so that resistor's fine. So I'm going to leave this one here. And this is actually a very short video, so I must apologize for that. But you never know. Maybe there'll be an update on another project that I'm working on. So let's see what happens. So I thought we'd take a quick look at the Philips VR2840 again. I will do a second part looking at the deck, giving that an overhaul and cleaning that up. But we did have a problem with the remote control insofar as the receiver wasn't there. So I do have a receiver. I actually have two. Now Steve very kindly gave me and found two receivers. Now one of these apparently is for the B&O version, and the other one is a Philips version. Now I think this is the B&O version, but we'll pop it in and we'll take a look. So the receiver actually plugs into that 3-pin plug just to the left of the battery there, the yellow battery. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to install it fully because like I say, I don't know whether it's actually going to work, but yeah, I'll plug that in and we'll give it a test. The battery is installed. It's 4 AAA batteries for this remote, which is quite a lot actually. But yeah, you can see it's working. Looks like some of the buttons. Oh, that's a record. So yeah, you've got to press 2 at once, but they all work. So let's give it a go. So nothing at all. Okay, so I've plugged the other one in. Now I don't suspect this is going to work either. These are actually exactly the same. If you look at the codes, the part numbers are identical. So yeah, I have to assume either the remote isn't the right one for this machine, which it probably isn't, to be fair. I mean, well, it isn't, but I was sort of hoping that the codes, the remote control control set codes were the same, but because they tended to be with Philips, but they're not. So yeah, yeah, a bit of a shame. But I think what I'll do is I will anyway just install this and then do some more research and just try and find out where I've gone wrong and what remote I actually do need or what remote will work. So yeah, so I'll pop that in and we'll take it from there. So I shall put in the one with the plug that fits the best. So catch down here, catch here, just tips forward. I don't have to do much more than that. And then you can see the sort of edge of the aperture then where this goes in. And it goes with a little window. Give it a quick clean. And then it should just go in and clip. There we go, it's clipped in. I was sort of getting it not quite at the right angle, so it plugs in, and then close this up. I'll just feed the wires back round, and that should just about go in. Oh, there we go. I hadn't quite pushed that in far enough. I heard a click, but obviously not enough. So, yeah, that's what it should look like. It's actually found in the transformer how I was doing it before. And let's get those clips to relocate. Yeah, that's fine. Super. So... yeah, it's just, I don't know why I'm even trying again, but yeah, it's that is not working. I'm pretty sure that this remote isn't the right one, or wasn't the one that came with the machine, or similar. But I was sort of hoping that it was going to work. But yeah, so with that, thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I promise there will be videos where things actually do work after they're fixed. But yeah, it's the journey, isn't it? So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, lots more to come. So see you in another video. Bye for now. Well, I don't know what I did, but it now works. And yeah, it's fine. So yeah, how bizarre. Just wind, rewind. It's TV, isn't it? So stop. 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 Stand by. Oh well, there we go. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and see you in another video. Bye for now.